Hello everyone, a warm good evening to all of you, and would like to welcome to this session of our YouTube channel. So, in this session, we'll discuss Odisha government and politics with respect to legislative and chief minister part. Okay, our objective of this session would ensure the previous year question with respect to this topic. Along with will cover the concept, theory, fact, figure with respect to our examinations. Our main motive to cover maximum things which can directly convert in questions in our examinations. And after completion of this video, it will help to you to understand how to study, what to study, and where to study with respect to this topic. And let me clear to all, maximum 2 to 3 questions are come from this part each and every schedule of the examination. So far so ssb and pgt exam is concerned. So hope you agree with this point. On this notes, let's start our today discussion. Okay, so hello everyone, let's start. Okay, first we will see the previous year question, then we will move to our theory part of legislative and educative, Odisha government and politics. So let's start. First question: what was the tenure of Chief Ministership of Vishwanath Das in Odisha? Okay, this was asked in your latest paper. Okay, option A from April 71 to June 72, B March 74 to December 76, C December 76 to the April 77, D June 77 to February 1980s. So what is the correct answer? If you know, you can also select your correct answer. So the correct answer is option A. This question tells us the chief minister who are famous one, their time periods. That is the one thing we should observe from these questions. If you are not able to provide answer, it is totally okay. You are now learning. That is the objective. Next question: in which year the strength of Odisha Legislative Assembly was increased from 140 to 147 by the Delimitation Act 1967? Option A 61, B 73, C 77, D 1980s. So the answer of this question 73. I would like to apologize here. In previous video I told it was 1974, but the answer is 73. If you will check out the note, you will see that the legislative assembly of 6th is started from 74 to the 77, and before that the strength of legislative assembly under the delimitation act 1940 1967 it was increased. So here we notice that its answer is option B. So we will also cover in our theory part, so stay tuned. Okay, then next question, question number 3: how many seats had been won by Janata Dal in 10th Legislative Assembly election in Odisha? Option A 123, B 100, C 115, D 135. So the answer of this question is like 123. Okay, so here we notice that the the examiner asks not only about the how many seats are in legislative assembly in Odisha, but also the political party who for first time own largest number of seats, that also they ask. Okay, so one thing clear that they also ask the seats with respect to the political party winning in the history. That is one you have to observe here. Next question number it's 4. Okay, what was the fixed strength of Odisha Legislative Assembly under the Government of India Act 1935 in pre-independence era? Option A 50 including 5 nominated member, B 60 including 4 nominated member, C 70 including 4 nominated member, D 75 including 10 nominated member. What is the answer? You can also provide if you know. So answer of this question option B. Again would tell you that the question with respect to legislative assembly are come around with the strength of seats, that how many seats are there initial and when the seats increase to that political party own how many seats. So this is the whole core of understanding legislative assembly. You need to focus here. That should be the approach. Okay, don't worry, we cover this also in our theory. Then this question repeated, it's already covered. Okay, last not the least, when was the 10th Legislative Assembly of Odisha constituted in post independence era? Okay, A January 2004, February 2004, May 2004, June 2004. What is the answer? You can provide the answer if you know. Answer of this question option C, May 2004. So here also would like to present before you that two things you have to remember with respect to legislative assembly. The strength of legislative assembly in history, the strength of seats which owned by political party, and the timeline of the or the creation of important or famous legislative assembly you have to remember. I can't say here that you have to remember all the legislative assembly date and year. That is not technically possible and it is not also coming in your examinations. You have to remember the famous one. Why 10th legislative assembly they ask? Then you can understand the essence of the questions and accordingly you have to study. So on basis of this note, let's start our theory. Okay, first of all you have to understand the theory, a theory concept of CM of Odisha. So ଏଠି କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି ବହୁତ କନଫ୍ୟୁଜନ୍ ରହୁଛି କ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡିଡେଟ୍ ମାନଙ୍କ ମଧ୍ୟରେ। କ'ଣ କନଫ୍ୟୁଜ୍ ନା ସେମାନେ ଚିଫ୍ ମିନିଷ୍ଟର ଆଉ ପ୍ରାଇମ୍ ମିନିଷ୍ଟର ୱିଥ୍ ରେସ୍ପେକ୍ଟ ଟୁ ଓଡ଼ିଶା they get confused. What is the confused? Let's understand the all debate about CM and prime minister in a very underline. Okay, you can see the concept of prime minister was followed under the British India. Usually head of the government province is known as the prime ministers. So here friend, during the time of British India or the pre-independence era, the head of the government is known as the prime ministers. That you have to remember. If the question with respect to prime minister they ask, you don't require to worry, but you have to remember the time of pre-independence head of government is known as the prime minister. Then under the Independence Act 1947, the head of the state or province is known as chief ministers. After the independence, means 1947 onwards, the head of the state is known as chief minister. If they ask the question who is the first chief minister, then you will accordingly provide the answer. If they ask question who is the first prime minister, then you have to provide answer. So you don't need to worry. So hope this point very clear to you. So now we are starting our very important point of today's discussion, which is going to ensure that you will get definitely question from this table, and it is a very important table. It's strategically prepared when I used to sit to prepare the PPT. So I think that I should prepare in such a way that it will be going to help you in a comprehensive way. So let's start. So under this basically row of the forehead, you will discuss the number of legislative assembly, the seats, okay, the chief ministers of the respective different legislative assembly, and the timeline and formation, and the time of president rules imposed in different time during the chief minister and legislative assembly, okay. And this table is prepared in such a way that the previous year question asked and also based on the current initiative in FIR, okay. So let's start. So you can see here the first pre-independence, okay, uh, during the time the legislative assembly. So, okay, the during the time of first pre-independence, the legislative assembly have a 60 seats, okay, including the 4 nominated member, okay. How many seats? Total 60 seats. Within that, the 4 nominated member, you can get a question. Already they asked the question, but here I think probably question can be framed. It's like very important, because they can also confuse you that 60 seats plus 4 seats, that is going to wrong. 60 seats, within that the 4 nominated member, that means you can say 56 elected member and 4 the nominated member. So in analytical way they can frame the question here, so you have to be prepared. I will also frame the question when we will discuss the cover all the topic. We will discuss the MCQ will form, okay. Then who is the chief minister, or say for example PM? We will not call chief minister, we will call here PM, because it is the pre-independence times. That time Sri Krishna Chandra became a prime minister, okay. So that you have to remember. They can ask the question, the time of the pre-independence first legislative assembly, who used to prime minister, Sri Krishna Chandra, okay. Then timeline, if you see the Government of India Act 1935, that can be also asked, okay. They can ask the question under which act the seats of legislative assembly, or they can ask the question first independence legislative assembly formed. So it is Government of India Act 1935. Under that, the different province have conducted the election on the basis of the limited franchise, okay. So under the limited franchise, the different province conduct the elections. That is, you have to remember two question here. Here is the one question, and here is the one question. You have to also write down the question in your note, okay. Whenever you revise, then you have to specifically focus the that portion or aspect, okay. So you can see here that Sri Krishna Chandra became the prime minister. Then after Biswanath Das, okay, Biswanath Das elected to form the government on July 1936 as a PM. Okay, the two things you have to remember. First, the Krishna Chandra basically became prime minister for a few time. After that, Biswanath Das elected to form a. It's a elected. Okay, if they ask the question, who is the elected uh, uh, who is the elected one who formed the government for the first times in pre-independence area, that is the Biswanath Das. That is how the technicality you have to remember, okay. Here the question can be framed. They can ask the question, who is the first prime minister of elected in Odisha pre-independence time, then you have to remember Biswanath Das. That is how the chance of the question you will get here. Then similarly, the second pre-independence legislative assembly, the seat increased from 60 to 91, okay. 60 to 91 under the state merger, the governor province order 1949. Here you can get a question. They can simply convert into question, okay. They can ask the question in second pre-independence legislative assembly or governor's province order 1949, the seats of legislative assembly days or what, then you have to remember 91, okay. So that is you have to remember here, because already they asked the question from here. So first pre-independence legislative assembly, then can chance that you can easily convert into question here. So you have to remember. And that time who is the prime minister? Dr. Harakushta Mahata. So in the during the second pre-independence legislative assembly, Dr. Harakushta Mahata used to be prime minister, and this legislative assembly formed under the pre-independence assembly 1946 act, okay.
That is the, you have to remember main thing, that they can ask the question from here. You have to write down that thing as well. I will also ask the question in the your like MCQ, so be prepared for that. Okay, then this is how the two pre-independence legislative assembly during the time of your before the independence. Okay, now we will see the post independence. After ଯେତେବେଳେ ଦେଶ ଆମର ସ୍ୱାଧୀନ ହେଲା ତାପରେ ଆମେ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ legislative assembly ଅଛି with specific to the Odisha, we will discuss all the important things. Okay, so first we will see the post independence first assembly. In that first assembly the seats now 140 seats. If you will see the pre-independence first 60, then after it was 91, then in the post-independence era the seats of legislative assembly became 140 seats. Okay, they can ask the question, how many seats during the time of the post-independence legislative assembly? That is 140. Okay, then who is the chief minister here? So here we will consider the head of government, the chief minister, as we discuss in this slide. Okay, in this slide we discuss the concept of prime minister and chief minister. Okay, under the government pre-independence, that is the head of government known as the prime minister. But after the or in post independence time, the head of the government is known as the chief minister. That you have to be clear. Okay, so who is the chief minister? That means for few time Navakusta Chaudhary. So few time Navakusta Chaudhary used to be a chief minister. On 1956, okay, on 1956, Harekusta Mahata became first chief minister under the Independence Act 1947. Here you can get a question. They can simply ask to you that who is the first chief minister under Independence Act. So it is the your the Harekusta Mahatap, the elected person, okay, became the chief minister, okay, after the your independence. Okay, that is you have to remember here, Harekusta Mahatap. Okay, then second legislative assembly. Okay, second legislative assembly, a coalition government formed. Okay, so during the time of second legislative assembly, a coalition government formed in 1959. When in 1959 a first coalition government formed during the second legislative assembly, and first time president rule imposed on 25th February 1961. So here you can get a question. So for first time when the president rule is imposed, that is 25th February 1961. Okay, and also the first coalition government formed in this second legislative assembly. Simply they can ask the question that under which legislative assembly or the time of which legislative assembly the first coalition government or say for example first president rule imposed, that you have to remember second legislative assembly. Okay, then who is the chief minister at that time? Harekusta Mehta took oath as a CM on April 1957 and last on to February 1961. So here they can ask the question, Harekusta Mahatab, the tenure of Harekusta Mahatab between, you have to remember, April 57 to February 61. So that you have to remember, they can convert into direct in questions. Okay, so two things you have to remember here, the tenure of the Harekusta Mahatab and the first coalition government or first president rule during the time of second legislative assembly. Okay, then move to the third legislative assembly. Okay, what is the importance of the third legislative assembly? Held construction for the separate building for the assembly. Why this point is important? Why this point is important? The question arise because ଯଦି तुम मैंने जब न्यूज अच्छ तो जदि आम देखा 2023 कौन है आमर गोटे सेपरेट पार्लियामेंट क्रिएट है, पार्लियामेंट बिल्डिंग गोटे क्रिएट है, तो दैट इज नाउ इन ट्रेंड. जदि एग्जामिनर एनालाइज कर बर्तमान रे जहाँ भी सेपरेट पार्लियामेंट जहाँ भी क्रिएट है, जदि आम वे बैक जदि आम हिस्ट्री को जीवा तो ओडिशा रे केबे कौन सेपरेट लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली होता, कारण पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस हो गला. तो आफ्टर द पोस्ट इंडिपेंडेंस वी रिक्वायर ए न्यू लेजिस्लेटिव बिल्डिंग which was building by the time of post independence, not the Britisher. So that is how it's important from that point of view. So this is the way we have to strategically prepare, because now the examination is going to be tough. Okay, with respect to this topic, if they will ask the question, then you have to remember during the time of third legislative assembly the separate building was basically constructed. Okay, then who was that time is the chief minister? Biju Patnaik became the chief minister in 1961 for a few time. Okay, that is how the thing. Here the question arise, most of the student confused that how Biju Patnaik that time is basically chief minister. I will simply tell you that go and refer your Dasarathy sir's book, the Odisha Government and Politics, you can see that is mentioned that time of the 61, the Chief Minister Biju Patnaik used to be for a small period of time. Okay, okay, okay. So you have to remember one question here that can be converted direct in question. Then fourth legislative assembly, the importance of that Swatandra party own 49 seats. Okay, do you know the Swatandra party? Let me clear you. Swatandra party is a regional political party who for the first time basically own the 49 seats. Okay, during the time of the fourth assembly, 49 seats. Okay, that's why it is important, because it is a first regional party who own these seats, highest number of seats. Okay, and also form the government with respect to coalition. Okay, that is how to remember. They can ask the questions that how many seats owned by the Swatandra party during the period of fourth legislative assembly, that you have to remember. Then R.N. Singh though the became chief minister of that time from 67 to the 71. Okay, simply they can ask the question R.N. Singh though the tenure of chief ministership, so it is March 67 to the Jan 71. Okay, so you will ask me, sir, it's a too much factual, how can you remember? Let me clear you that Odisha politics and government, if you will be check out your previous question, as I already see, this is all about factual. How can you remember? It can only possible through multiple practice by making your own question, and also I will try to cover the maximum question also in MCQ, don't worry. Okay, and that time also president rule imposed in 71. Okay, so that is you have to also here remember. uh, okay, because the question can be also framed that they will ask the question that the which of the following is correct pair or incorrect pair. They will write down one side the different assembly, and they will write down the president rule imposed in that assembly, not imposed in the last assembly. They will write down. Okay, I will try to make the sample question here also, that can be possible in our examination. Okay, so you have to remember in fourth assembly the president rule also imposed, that is the 71. Okay, then moving to the fifth assembly. Okay, fifth legislative assembly, a coalition government led by Biswanath Das. Okay, a CM, the chief minister, as a chief minister from May 71 to June 72. Okay, this question already asked in your examination, that when the tenure of the Biswanath Das. Okay, let me see you the question which you already see. Okay, what was the tenure of chief minister of Biswanath Das? Already they asked the question, and here you are going to cover that thing along with also the expected question on a similar line. Okay, okay, so that is how the strategy you have to prepare. Hope you understand. Okay, so this is how the coalition government led by Biswanath Das is a chief from May 71 to June 72. That is how important. Okay, that is the question already asked. They are not going to repeat that question. Okay, so what can we here they form the question that the president will impose on March 73. So that time of 73, they can also frame a question. They will write down the different president rule, and they will ask the they will put the chief minister of that time. They will ask to choose the correct and incorrect. So सेटा मध्ये गोटे possible question हे परिबो. Also they can ask the question like Biswanath Das was became a chief minister of the which term of assembly. So you have to remember fifth. এটা ମଧ୍ୟ possible ହେଇପାରିବ, କାରଣ the examiner they will also want to try to make the question something here and there na. So that is have to remember the things. Then very important thing, you have to remember the sixth assembly which was there in our examination. Sixth assembly that time change the seats from 140 to 147. Okay, already asked the question. If you will see the previous one, let me see you. Okay, so in which year the strength of Odisha Legislative Assembly was increased from 140 to 147 by the Delimitation Act 1967. So it is the already asked the question which we are going to cover in our theory portion. Okay, so sixth legislative assembly in which the seats basically changed from 140 to 147. They asked the question in 1973. They now can ask the question in 1973. The seats of legislative assembly is increased from 140 to what? So they will write down different options. So you have to remember it's 140 to 147, 73. Under which legislative assembly? It's the sixth legislative assembly. Or they can ask the question under which minister? It's the Nandini Satpathy. Okay, 3 question here. And also they can ask the question, the 6th legislative assembly also president rule imposed in 1976. Okay, here you will get the 3-4 related questions. Okay, hope you understand. So moving to the next, 7th legislative assembly. So in 7th legislative assembly, Janata Dal secure 110 seats. Okay, so let me clear you that Janata Dal first time secured the such a highest number of seats so far so the Odisha politics is concerned. That's why it's important, because they already asked the question regarding the Janata Dal. So now they will ask the question that during the time of the 7th assembly, Janata Dal secured how many seats? That is a 110 seats. Okay, and president rule also imposed that time 1980. Okay, so they will can ask the match of the following question: 7th legislative assembly and president rule imposed in 1980s. So you have to match that thing. That is how you have to remember. Okay, hope you understand. Then moving to 10th legislative assembly. In 10th legislative assembly, the Janata Dal secured 123 seats, as they already asked in your question, previous year question. Let me see you. Okay. How many seats have been won by Janata Dal in 10th legislative assembly election in Odisha? So it is 123 seats. Now they can ask the question, under which legislative assembly Janata Dal own 123 seats? That is the 10th legislative assembly. Don't you think so? Question basically from in this way. Okay, you have to think always that how can question frame, क्वेश्चन कौटू आस क्वेश्चन केमती फ्रेम हम तो सब ये आटीट्यूड रहार अच्छे देन इट इज बिकम इजी टू क्लीयर दिस क्वेश्चन ओके एंड दैट इज हाउ द यू हैव टू टेक द एडवांटेज फ्रॉम देन योर कंपिटिटर ओके सो दैट इज हाउ द यू हैव टू रिमेंबर okay 10th legislative assembly Janata Dal secure 123 seats and during the time who is the chief minister Biju Patnaik the chief minister that can be also converted a question and the timeline of that legislative assembly 10th 1990 to 95 okay your each and every column here important you can't ignore even if a single column because this is the way you have to be covered if you really want to crack these examinations. Then 12th legislative assembly BJD secure 68 seats because see in 1997 what happened 1997 December BJD was created Biju Janata Dal basically was created okay in 12th assembly they for the first time formed the government and they secure how many seats 68 seats they can simply ask the question for the first time BJD secure how many seats 68 seats under which assembly 12th assembly okay and Nabin Patnaik take oath as a first term on March 2000 they can simply ask the question. So for the first time in which year Nabin Patnaik take oath that is how the March 2000 here you can get a question okay and 12th legislative assembly formed on February 2000 as they already asked the question if you will see the exam paper okay when was the 30th legislative assembly of Odisha constituted in post independence era okay that is the question. Don't you think so they will ask the 12th legislative assembly so you have to also prepare okay so it is very important 12th legislative assembly form on February 12, 2000 okay that is how the question you will get here question you will get here question you will get here question each and every column is going to cover 3 important questions that you have to remember okay and 12th legislative assembly is started from 2000 2009 then 13th legislative assembly okay which created on May 2004 already asked the question I already show you a multiple time and that time Nabin Patnaik also CM and it is started from 2004 to 2009 okay that is how the second last then here you can see the figure that from 12th assembly to the 16th legislative assembly BJD under Nabin Patnaik is in progress that means 12तम आम कहीपर आसेम्बली लेजिस्लेटिव आसेम्बली टू द 16तम लेजिस्लेटिव आसेम्बली मध्य बीजेडी कौन कर रूलिंग कर प्रोग्रेस अच्छी 2024 पर्यंत एंड योर इलेक्शन इज गोइंग टू बेसिकली हेल्ड ओके from April 19 onwards to the June 1 so in that time the Odisha election state legislative assembly election is going to cover and we will also try to see the what is the current scenario or the strength and it is important because कौन पे ना Odisha legislative assembly एमती गोटे टॉपिक आज के डेट रे जहाँ भी मुझे एनालाइज कर पारुछि कारण इलेक्शन 2024 रे जाउछि तो जी एग्जामिनेशन पेपर बनेबो ही कांट डेयर टू इग्नोर द लेजिस्लेटिव असेंबली aspects so here definitely they can frame the one or two question because election is right now there they will ask the question okay that is the way we have to prepare that what is happening in the current and how we will cover the topic with respect to the current event. Okay, that is the thing. And I will assure you, if you will really with dedicatedly practice or cover with multiple revision this table, and you are not going to worry about with this prospect or portion, that is I can assure you. Okay, so this is the all about which I would like to help you with this proper. सो दोस्तों आम ये आमर लेक्चर को ये रखा, तो मुझे भावुँ मैक्सिमम जिन कवर होगा आज चीफ मिनिस्टर एंड लेजिस्लेटिव, तो तुम से गुड़ा भलसे मन देकर पढ़ी प्राक्ट कर नोट ट्राए कर प्रिपेयर करने है यहाँ हूँ आमर. So this is all about from my side. Hope you understand and get few of insight with respect to that topic. And next thing that I would like to clarify is that most of the student ask me that, sir, this is the important for our examination, so this is enough for our examination. See, no one can guarantee you what is enough for examination. The more you have to focus your weak area, you have to improve your weak area and try to analyze and previous paper and work upon that thing. I can't say that by covering my lecture only you will able to crack this examination. Yes, I can assure you that covering this portion you will definitely get help in your examination, but it is up to you. You have to prepare such a way from starting to the end of your examination hall. If you will well study and cover with well topic in our lecture or the YouTube video, but if you are not performing well in your examination hall, not read question properly, then how who will responsible for that? So ସେଥିପାଇଁ ମୁଁ କହିବି ତୁମକୁ ସିନସିୟରଲି କାମ କରିବାର ଅଛି. ତ ମୁଁ କହିପାରିବିନି ଯେ ତୁମେ ଏତି ହିଁ ପଢ଼ିଦେଲେ ତୁମର ଏକ୍ଜାମ୍ କ୍ଲିୟର ହେବ. ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ନଟ୍ ଆଇ ଏମ୍ ନଟ୍ ଗୋଇଂ ଟୁ committed a false committed here. Okay, I'm trying to here helping to you that can add in your preparation. तो एटलिस्ट यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर ना. तुम तुम वीकनेस जान तुम कौट अच्छ कौन ना तुम से अनुसार पढ़ार अच्छे आल्सो आगे कवर कले मैक्सिमम एडवांटेज तुम पाइपर. दैट इज आई कैन गारंटी टू यू. ओके, सो दिस इज द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ दिस लेक्चर एंड दिस class. Hope you understand because you are the like master student, and I hope I expect that amount of maturity from your side. Yes, I will definitely help you that if you require anything as much as possible from my side. Okay, I will definitely help you, and we are preparing for examination. Definitely our objective to crack this examination. Don't worry, you will definitely do that thing. You have to follow this lecture, follow this instruction, along with you have to put effort from your side also. Okay, so that can be help to you crack this examination. Okay, those are watching this video also, they are also well talented. I can't say that they are not they have no knowledge and regarding political science. They have knowledge, but due to the some silly mistake or due to some mistakes committed, that's why exam not clear. It happened with me also. I also go through similar kind of experience. So that is the common thing, but you have to think always positive. So thank you everyone. So thank you for joining this lesson. I hope you find it interesting. Thank you. Have a nice day. And you also get the PDF in our Telegram ID. Thank you guys.